talking The Wraith Within. This is directed by Aaran and stars Michael Madsen. I say stars, he is the recognisable name attached to a few scenes, probably 1 or 2 days shooting at most. What's the story? Well, it focuses on a group of now adult friends who are returning to their hometown for a kind of reunion, and within this kind of group we have rivalries, we have romance, and along the way they end up stopping off at this kind of curiosity shop where someone they used to know who kind of works there, and for reasons they buy this kind of box, this antique box, and inside is this teddy bear. But this teddy bear is a cursed item and has unleashed the spirit of this young girl who is seemingly intent on murdering essentially anyone who kind of has seen this teddy bear, and skewers them with a pitchfork. Now our friends are getting picked off. What will happen? You have to watch the movie and find out. So what do we think of The Wraith Within? It's a low budget movie. So what can I say that works? Okay, so the Wraith, this girl, this kind of ghostly girl, the actual makeup effects I think look okay. You know, it looks pretty freaky. It's ruined a little bit by having a stupid fright wig that makes it look like it's just come from an anime convention. But the actual makeup, I would say, is pretty good. It's trying to be a little bit kind of self-referential. You know, name dropping a kind of a few horror things here and there. You know, Freddy Krueger, Jason, all that sort of stuff. So it's trying to be kind of in-jokey with kind of like horror movie crowds. I would say it's competently kind of shot. I wouldn't say it's outstanding anyway, and some of the, kind of the lighting looks a little bit kind of artificial at times, but it's competently shot. And there's a relatively high body count. Okay, that's kind of all I've got really. This when I was thinking, what am I going to say that I liked about this one? And I was like, geez, this is going to be a short list. Okay, this movie, it just feels so amateurish. Let me just kind of run through it in a little bit more detail. So the actual kind of antagonist, this kind of girl, this spirit, the Wraith. As I've mentioned, the makeup itself looks quite good, but unfortunately they decided to, for some reason, to give her this like white hair, which she didn't have when she was alive. Should have just gone with the natural hair, to be honest with you, because it just looks like someone from an anime convention, and all you see is this kind of like fake white hair, and it just looks stupid. And the kind of how she is kind of you know, her kind of origin, I guess you would say, is just a little bit silly. Oh, she just kind of really loved this bear, and you know, when she was murdered, she kind of looked at this bear and her spirit went in it. Now anyone that looks at this bear is kind of cursed. It just seems like, oh, just kind of write the origin down the back of a cigarette packet, that'll do. It really doesn't feel like it's particularly kind of well thought out. And then she just, I don't know, she just turns up and seemingly murders more or less anyone, and it's just not particularly kind of, I don't know, consistent. The movie really isn't scary in any way. As I said, some of the lighting is a little kind of artificial looking. There's no real sense of kind of creepiness or dread. It kind of is just more or less kind of like this anime looking kid kind of shows up and stabs a few people in kind of with low budget, you know, kills and things like that. The acting is okay. There's 1 or 2 actors who I think I do an okay job. I'm not going to tell the entire cast here, but a lot of the actors, more than half of the actors, are not particularly strong. Let me just say that. Like I said, there are 1 or 2 I think do okay, but a lot of them here are really not particularly good. And there's a lot of kind of, there's a little bit too much animosity between like all this group of people. For like a kind of a school reunion and stuff, there just seems to be, I mean, I get there might be some sort of like, you know, underlying feelings, but there just seems to be a little bit too much to create this kind of drama and stuff like this. Well, there's no real kind of surprises in this movie. It unfolds exactly like you're going to think, but without any kind of tension or atmosphere. Michael Madsen, our big name actor, I mean, his recent kind of movies really haven't, you know, been particularly of high quality, and he kind of continues this trend. I mean, he's for him and kind of like, you know, Eric Roberts and Tom Sizemore when he was alive, kind of just do these kind of low budget movies, and half the time they feel like they're kind of like drunk or hungover or something like that. Michael Madsen's eyebrows have disappeared. It looks kind of weird. I don't know what's happened to his eyebrows. But it's just not a particularly good movie. The actual kind of mythos for this kind of ghost is just kind of like seemingly just kind of mundane and uninteresting. The resolution is kind of mundane and uninteresting. It's ultimately just a very kind of like poorly put together movie. I struggle really to find much to recommend this one. I mean, normally when I look at a film, I'm trying to think, is there any aspects that I feel do okay? And this one I'm struggling. The music's okay, great. Are you going to watch the movie because of that? Probably not. It's a rough one, this one. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. It is really disappointing, to be honest with you. And apparently it was meant to be the first of a series. We'll see if that continues. But yeah, not a good, not a great watch, this one. 2 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Please do leave me a comment. And I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.